Welcome back, everybody. Today we bought a cheap drift car off of Amazon. I think this was $30. We're just gonna unbox it with you and see what we think about it and rip it around a little bit. See what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. This is an Enos. I don't really know how to say that. That's the box there.
I think it says Enos.
Says it's for ages 8 and older, bud. I guess you don't get to play with it. I think it comes with a couple extra sets of tires, but let's dig into it and see what we can get.
It's pretty cool.
What's your first impression?
I think it looks pretty cool because it looks like a NASCAR.
Looks like a NASCAR.
Yeah.
I guess maybe, huh? First thing I see here is the little clear coat on the body. I don't know if you can see it there. It's a little chewed up here on the corner. It's got, there's no rubber on the tires, which I would assume is why it drifts. It's got the old school trim, to adjust your steering underneath. That's like old school stuff I'm used to because, like I said, we didn't have nothing fancy when I was a kid. But, I'm sure it was out there, but I didn't have it. It's got 4 little body clips to hold the body on, so we'll go ahead and pull those off and see what we're working with. The body comes off. It does look like it has some little lights in the back of the wing here. Under here, there's
LED lights?
4 little LEDs, it looks like. The box does say dual motor, 500 milliamp battery, 4-wheel drive. I don't know how you're gonna drift a 4-wheel drive car, but I'm also not super versed in drift, so I could be wrong. Let's see what else will come with the bag.
But we already know who's that's the traffic cones.
No, here's our little battery pack. This is these are little battery packs you get with the cheap little RCs we bought at the mall and stuff.
Traffic cones.
Comes with some small traffic cones.
It's probably station drift.
We'll get that in a minute. All right, let's see what else we're working with here. It comes with an extra set of tires. These tires do have some tread on them. They have a little bit of rubber, so I'm assuming that's you. You can put these tires on and rip it around on the street or whatever. It's got more grip. Maybe you can control it better. The outside, I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. It's just a real thin layer of rubber. The inside, it's not super appealing, but I guess you don't really see the inside very much anyways. They don't seem very durable, like they would hold up to jumping it or anything like that. Here's our little USB charger cord deal here. Let's check the controller out. Controller's very clunky. It's very cheap feeling. There's no, like our other cars here, we have there's a little bit of foam around the wheel, and it's definitely more, everything moves a little freer on the other ones. The controller has next to no resistance in it, so that might be kind of difficult to feather the throttle.
And the controller's a little bit smaller.
It does look a little bit smaller. Looks like it's got a button here to turn on an LED.
And it's
there's a button here to turn your speed up.
And it's easier to push the button.
And just a simple on-off button. So, are you guys? How do you guys feel about charging batteries before you use things? I know typically in the instructions or whatever, it'll tell you, make sure the battery's fully charged before you mess with it. I'm pretty impatient, so I'm not very good at doing that. Let me know what you guys think, if that's actually makes a difference or not. A lot of times we like to just throw the battery in it, let it rip, and when it dies, then we'll charge it. What do you think? Think we should charge it first?
I think we should like drive around first.
Drive around first? Yeah, you're impatient like me, huh?
It just looks very cool.
These are the other tires that are on it. They're very thin, just plastic. It's the exact same tire, it looks like. It's just doesn't have that rubber coating on it. It does come with 2 batteries. Unless that other battery is for the controller, we're going to find out here in just a minute. So
I think it might be.
let's go ahead and get this job plugged in here.
How do you open the controller one?
I think that has a little screw that holds it too, no? Right here on the end.
Oh yeah. And do that one if you want.
Go for it.
Wait, is that my screwdriver?
Nope, it come with the car.
I want this way.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they really want you to work on it at all. Mess with it, tinker with it. It's pretty much just plug and play. Actually, it also has 2 little LEDs in the front there as well. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there in the splitter there on the front.
Can you help me?
Yeah. So it does come with two battery packs for the car. The controller looks like it takes 2 AA batteries.
You'll be right back.
The fronts are solid. Does have some blue underglow under there, and it also has red lights on the back. That's kind of a cool little feature, I think. Okay, so we got solid headlights on, underglow. One more click of the button gives you brake lights. Click it one more time,
All the
lights turn off. So you got, again, headlights, underglow, brake lights, everything's on,
and
or
then
everything's off.
everything turns off.
Let's give this thing a go. All right, buddy, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Give her a rip.
Stuck. It looks pretty cool so far. It literally just started, but
This ought to be a stress test, huh? Running into everything.
it crashes a lot. You wanna try?
Oh, we got her stuck. Got her stuck again. I will say that the controller is not very responsive. It doesn't have, there's no, how would you say it? There's no, it's either all or not with the steering. You have to crank it all the way over for it to steal. It's not proportionate, right? So if I turn it just a little bit, the wheels don't turn. I have to turn it all the way before the wheels turn, which makes it pretty hard to handle. If it was a little more sensitive and you could move the wheel anywhere in between, then it'd probably be a lot funner to play with.
Can you screw it for me?
Hey, you just want to change the tire? Good. Well, pretty simple to change the tires on it. It's one Phillips head screw right in the center of the tire. So flipped her over. As far as with their rubber tires on it, I would say it's not very fun to drive. It's slow. The steering, once again, is a pain in the butt to, you gotta go all the way one direction or the other, and that's the only option you have. So, and it's not very quick. But I do want to try one more thing. What I'm thinking here is we run the rubber tires up front and the slick tires in the rear. Should give us more grip for turning, but the car will still be able to slide around like in a drift. So we're gonna go ahead and try to change just the rear tires out now, back to the original smooth plastic wheels, tires, and see how that does. The wheels do have like a hex socket basically on the inside. That's what seats onto the axle. So it does still, it keeps the tire from turning unless the axle's turning, right? So it's not gonna free spin or not get traction because it's spinning inside of it. So we put smooth tires on the rear, rubber tires on the front, and we're gonna go see how that does.
It looks like it's doing a lot more better with drifting and driving. You see on one side it doesn't do that good. But it's see on the other it does.
Bring it over here, please. Okay, so as far as those last tests went, it definitely spins around a lot more, that's for sure. But I will say that it's far more difficult to control. All it wants to do is donuts. So I would not recommend that if you do decide to buy one of these. But hey, it's worth a shot. It's fun. We did that drop test there at the end. This body damage right here was already kind of like that. It's really just like a clear film that's like a protection for the paint, I guess. I assume it's dipped of some sort, but as far as the drop test goes, I mean, we drove that sucker off the table and everything, all the lights are still working. Wheels are still like they were before, pretty tight. Yeah, I mean, it holds up pretty well. I will say that. As far as battery life goes, we didn't drive it long enough really to determine what the battery life was. We did end up putting a fully charged battery in it after the first indoor run we did, just to give it a fair shake. I do think that it's a pretty zippy little car with the rubber tires on it, with the plain, like the smooth tires on it. It's fun to drive around. I mean, it's worth it for 30 bucks, I think. It did have one issue where I turned the controller on. As soon as I turned the controller on, the car started driving and it wouldn't stop. If I pulled the trigger, like the car was driving in reverse, if I pulled the trigger to drive forward, the car would stop, but it had no forward drive. Once I turned the car off and the controller off and turned it back on, it was fine. I don't know what that was all about. If it just went on the fritz for some reason. But now we're gonna go ahead and pull it apart and see what's inside of it and if there's any potential to be able to make it any better. Yeah, we'll go ahead and unplug that light again. Yeah, like I said, the body's pretty thin. It twists pretty easy. It's a pretty thin body, but all in all, it's pretty durable so far. Well, I broke those. I don't know why these clips are so hard to get out sometimes, but regardless, let's go ahead and start pulling a cover off of this and see what we can find here. Let me disconnect the battery before we get too carried away. So let's go ahead and flip her over and see. It looks like the shell just holds it all together. Your axles are held in, top and bottom. Bottom, being the lower end there, and the top, well, being the top. So this is what we're working with when we get down to the bottom. It does have a ring gear and a pinion. So it's got a little rear differential. It's not sealed or nothing, it's just kind of together. The axles are a square notch that just fit into each other, it looks like. And then they drop down in there and they're held in. It's got a metal gear on the motor and a plastic gear on what would be the drive shaft essentially. Looks to me like there's I don't know if you can see it here, let me tip this up for you. There's a steel, like a square steel shaft that runs front to rear to drive the fronts. Flip it around this way. Looks like our battery power plugs into that board, and then front and rear motor. So that front motor there is going to be for our steering, which looks like it's just gear driven. That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't think I'm going to pull it apart too much further because it doesn't appear as though you're really going to be able to do much to it. It's kind of a shame, but what do you expect for a $30 RC car, you know what I mean? It is, like I said, it's fun to play with, so It's worth it for $30 if you just want something to screw around with that you don't really care if it gets broken or scratched or whatever it may be. Obviously with RC cars, we're not really worried about them getting scratched, but. Now we're gonna go ahead and try a drop test. All right, we'll go ahead and do one more of those.
Seems to be fine.